Hello and welcome to what is undoubtedly an unprecedented television event. Today we are going to test the nation's knowledge of road signs. Now, you might not think that's that exciting, but as you'll find out today, we have a bit of a problem out there. I am with Kate Rock from Goodyear, and Goodyear have today released the results of their Test the Nation survey. And we all know that people aren't that au fait with lots and lots of little road signs. There's that one, isn't there, with the car with the fire on the roof. And not many people know that that's a sign that says you shouldn't be carrying explosives in your car if you go into this tunnel. But what's really kind of concerned us is that there's a lot of people out there who don't know the simple, basic stuff. So, Kate is just going to tell us how astonishing were these results.
Yeah, they were pretty bad, Quentin. This is the second year that we've run this survey. We tested 2,000 people on some very, very basic road safety, highway code signs and signals, and the majority of people got the questions incorrect.
So we do have a problem out there, and we wanted to kind of conduct our own live interactive survey here. So what we're going to do is today, going to give away a set of Goodyear tyres, brand new, which could be worth up to...
Depends on your size, but up to around about £1,000.
£1,000 worth of new free rubber. All you have to do is answer one of the questions I'll be reading out in a minute, and Kate will be helping me answer. And you email us or hashtag Studio Talk TV. Simple as that. And I don't think these questions are difficult. You don't think these questions are difficult, but by the results of the survey, there are people out there who do. All you have to do is to answer just one of them correctly, and we will give the tyres away. So stay with us, next 15-20 minutes, learn something, and you might win yourself a grand's worth of free Goodyear tyres. So just let's find out how confused and how befuddled people are about road signs out there. We've done our survey, we've got some quite alarming data from it. Let's put it to the test with real people, real life, pounding those real streets. We sent Becky out to actually talk to some real people and show them some real road signs.
Can I just stop you for a few seconds? We're asking drivers today how well they know their highway code. Are you a driver?
Yes.
Can I ask you what you think these road signs mean?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Okay, so these are traffic lights.
Okay, what do you think that sign is actually telling you to do?
Get ready to go.
The first one is slippery surface.
No more than 30 miles an hour. Right turn.
Oh, are you sure with that one?
Oh, sorry, no right turn.
What does this sign mean?
Well, that sign is, I don't know this one first time. Then we drive slowly.
Drive slowly?
Yeah.
No overtaking.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
I wouldn't have a clue.
What about this sign?
The speed, you can't over the 30 speed.
I have no idea.
No idea.
Don't think I've ever seen that one before.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Is it maybe get ready to go at the traffic lights, kind of before green?
I don't know. Other than... no, I don't know. Genuinely don't know. I mean, unless I don't know what that one is.
Got two correct.
You're joking.
So it might be worth taking a look at
Shouldn't be allowed on the road.
the highway code book, but well done. Thank you very much for taking part.
No problem.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Doesn't exactly fill you with confidence, does it? So there we are. Proof, if proof were needed, that perhaps we do have a problem out there. So remember, I am going to test your knowledge of UK road signs to win a set of brand new Goodyear tyres. So email us or studiotalk Goodyeartests.tv. Here we go. First question. I didn't think this one was very difficult, Kate,
No.
but you would be surprised. What does this traffic light mean? Simple as that. And quite a lot of people got this wrong, didn't
Yeah, over 50% of our sample got this question incorrect.
they? 50%. And it's, call me old-fashioned, but it isn't difficult, is it?
No, none of the questions that we asked were particularly difficult.
Get in touch right now with your answers. It's really, really important to win those tyres. Goodyear really are behind all this road safety stuff now, and you've got an initiative which is groundbreaking, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, road safety is Goodyear's ethos, really. It's what we stand for. It's about making the road a safer place to be on. And we've teamed up with an organisation called Young Driver. We believe that education on driving from a younger age is really important. Youngsters should get behind the wheel from an earlier age, and that's exactly what Young Driver enables us to do. So in an enclosed environment, youngsters from around about the age 11 get behind the wheel, and they're taught the basics of driving. And we are tyre sponsor of Young Driver now.
Kate's being actually quite modest here because this is groundbreaking, going to change the way people learn to drive and begin it at schools, and together Goodyear, Kate and I will push this into government to make sure that we get driving on the GCSE syllabus like citizenship. Because here's the thing, you teach them early, not when they're 17 when all that testosterone's raging, but when they're receptive and they've got a clear, pure mindset, and you get all those serious road safety messages in. So I think this is a really, really, really good idea, and well done, Goodyear. Okay, I've got a load of questions here. James from Portsmouth, how much value do you put on advanced driving lessons even after you've passed your test? I'm thinking of getting them for my daughter, thanks. Well, that goes to what Kate was saying about Young Driver. Any of this extra tuition that you can do. I mean, my daughter, when she passed her test, I was completely barbaric. The day afterwards, I woke her up at 6 o'clock in the morning and said, you are driving me down to London, because we lived in Warwickshire, and made her get into the car, drive me all the way down the M40, all the way around Park Lane, all the way to Trafalgar Square. And the poor child was completely terrified, but it was like a baptism of fire. So you've got to do this stuff. Extra training makes you extra safe. It's as simple as that. Institute of Advanced Motorists, anything like that, do it. Makes a difference. Okay, we've had some answers. Stop. It means stop. Okay, you'd kind of think that would be right, but what was how many people got this wrong?
Yeah, over 50% of people thought that it meant proceed with caution. The actual answer is stop.
Over 50% thought it meant you could go, but proceed with caution. And Kate, it means
stop.
Let us not be in any doubt about this. Tim and Bill, you got that one right. Don't go over the red line. Red means stop. Wait till it's green to go. Sounds daft, doesn't it, that I'm actually saying this stuff, but hey. So, okay, next question. Here we are. Shouldn't be difficult, shouldn't be taxing, but you'd be surprised, wouldn't you?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the second year in a row that we've asked this question. Last year, 23% of the sample got the question incorrect, and this year it's 1 in 4. So the people really don't know what this road sign means, and it's something that we see all of the time, everywhere.
Well, I think I know the answer to that one. You certainly know the answer to that one. You have a bit of time. Remember, studiotalk.tv, email us. You're competing for a set of tyres, brand new Goodyear tyres. What does that sign mean? We have an actually quite profound viewer question here from Darren. Why do we have so many road signs in the UK? It's a good question, and we do have far, far too many. It's called road clutter, and we're coming out of a kind of era where the government just 2 wheels good, 4 wheels bad, quite tacitly anti-car. But there's been experiments done in Holland where if you take away all the signs and take away lots of white lines and stuff like that, so the drivers have to make their decisions on their own and aren't being dictated to by signage, it makes them safer drivers, it makes them make good decisions and drive more carefully. So there is another side to this, that perhaps we do have too many signs in the UK. It is too confusing, too much to learn. And anything that kind of just brings this whole driving roads debate into the communal radar is a good thing. We do need more time and attention on it. But Goodyear really do have this culture, don't they, of road safety?
Yeah, it's really, really important to us. And what we found with regards to the survey was that over 54% of people thought that their knowledge of the highway code was very good or good. So people in the UK obviously believe that they have a good knowledge of the highway code. They know what they're doing. They know what the answers are. They know what these road signs mean, but the actual answers of those questions, they didn't answer correctly. So it's quite surprising, really.
And confidence and ignorance, they make very kind of uncomfortable bedfellows, don't they? There's a recipe for disaster there.
Yeah. I mean, 1 in 3 of the sample did say that they felt that they were a cautious driver. So that was quite an interesting find. But I mean, I feel that I'm quite a confident driver.
You see, it's interesting because you could be overconfident, but you can also be overcautious. And it's really important to get the balance. You need to be fluid, fluent, confident, but cautious as well. And that's why we need more time spent on getting people, because you see people in cars very close to the wheel and they're not comfortable. They're out their comfort zone, and you know they're not looking at signs or other drivers. They're just hoping nothing's going to go wrong. So, okay, let's hope that nothing has gone wrong with this sign here. Kate, would you like to tell us what that sign means?
Yes, this sign means no overtaking.
Okay. Bill got that one right, easy no overtaking. We had one earlier on that said it means no red cars. Ha ha ha, but then it could also mean no black cars, couldn't it? Now, don't forget these blindingly easy questions. We have a set of Goodyear tyres up for grabs. All you have to do is answer one of them by emailing us or talking to us on Twitter, studiotalk.tv. A set of tyres worth up to £1,000, brand new Goodyear tyres. So come on, easy questions. So talking of easy questions, let's have another one. Zebra crossing. You are approaching a zebra crossing and there happens to be somebody standing on that zebra crossing or on the side of the road. What do you do? You have a minute or so to answer that question. What do you do? You've got somebody on a zebra crossing wanting to cross. This, by the way, is a Belisha beacon. Do you know what a Belisha beacon is?
No.
Okay. You probably don't want to know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. A Belisha beacon was invented by Dr. Belisha back in the 30s, and this was the first kind of pelican crossing, and they just flashed all the time. They were made of glass in my day, and we used to kick them up with footballs. It was, you know, this first zebra crossing with illumination that pedestrians could go across. And now we have pelican crossings, and if you say to somebody, oh, just drop me by the Belisha beacon, they look at you completely gone out. So anyway, what was the likelihood of people getting that right in the survey, Kate?
It was 25% of people got the question incorrect. So again, quite a high percentage given the 2,000 people that we surveyed.
And when you think that these are outside schools and very, very important, and you could have kids who might not, you know, see that you're pressing on and might automatically assume, it can be very, very, very dangerous, isn't it?
Yes, extremely dangerous. Yeah.
And your passion for safety at a younger age,
Yes.
This is part of the Goodyear core value, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. And we're just about to embark on a school safety campaign. This includes a highway code game. So what we're trying to do is get into schools and get into their citizenship classes, or some schools call them personal and social education. Schools are all online now. Get them online playing the highway code game. It will teach them the basics of the highway code, and then they'll be tested as if they're behind the wheel whilst they're playing the game. And they'll be entered into a prize draw to win a car for when they actually pass their test.
A car?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And this is really good because it doesn't mean you've got to read a book. You can do it interactively, you can do it online,
Yeah.
you can have a game, you can get a phone app. This is the whole point we're making today, is that you don't need to be ignorant about these road signs. There's no excuse. The information is there, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And it's there for people who drive at the moment as well. You can go online. There's the highway code, have a website. Our website will link you to that. So you can go to goodyear.co.uk to find out more information.
Okay. All right. What have we got here? Mike, can you keep going if you are quick? Over the crossing, you mean. Thank you so much for that, Mike. We are obliged. Here we are. This is Edward, who has a much more sensible head on. Stop and let them cross. So, Kate, tell us, what is the correct answer? Do you just plough on regardless, or you do stop and let them cross?
You stop, you let them cross and wait patiently until they've got to the other side.
I'm really struggling with this today because it is just, it's daftness. But how many people got this wrong?
Yeah, 25% of our sample.
25% of people got that wrong. So there really is no room for complacency. And I will forgive myself for sounding like I'm completely mad and stating the obvious. But, you know, people don't stop at zebra crossings, and they need to. Okay, another question for our set of tyres. Here we go. What does this sign mean? And it is just, I cannot believe I'm reading these out, but in the survey, again, what happened, Kate?
1 in 4 got it incorrect.
1 in 4. So have a look at that sign. If you know the right answer, answer right now, Studio Talk TV, or email us, and all you have to do is get one of these signs correctly. You'll be put in a draw, and then one of you today will win this set of Goodyear tyres. What do we got coming in? Nikki from Dorking has asked, my husband is always telling me that it is sometimes dangerous to drive too slowly. Do you think this is true? Do you think it's dangerous to drive too slowly, Kate?
Yes, because it can aggravate others on the road. A speed limit is there for a reason.
And did you know that there is actually a thing you can fail your driving test for not making normal progress? And you're right in the sense that you'll be behind someone who's flagrantly not observing a speed limit, but the other way, not exceeding it, but not going fast enough. So they're doing 20 and a 40. That's patently absurd and patently dangerous, because if you're behind them, you're going to get cross and angry and frustrated and might make the wrong decision, like the queue of angry, impotent drivers behind you who are struggling to understand why that person's doing 20 miles an hour. So you can get into trouble for going too slowly, as you can for going too fast. Okay, right. Let's see what people are saying here. Olivia Rose has answered quite sensibly and reasonably, but we don't know whether she's right or not. No right turn. Kate, tell us what that sign means.
No right turn.
No right turn. So
Yes.
those 25% who got that wrong, it's unbelievable. And they were presented with this sign, easy, tell us what this sign means, and couldn't. So there we go. All right, let's move on to our 5th question. And remember, studiotalk.tv, or email us. Now this is a very lovely shot, which I'll tell you about in a minute, of London. The question is, if you are in a built-up area like that, what is the speed limit? And you should be able to tell me that without looking at any signs. Kate, that's not just a stock library photograph, is it?
No, it's not. It's an image that was taken from our Goodyear blimp airship, which has been flying around the UK now for a couple of weeks, and we had it in the UK last year as well. So we're heading up our road safety campaign with our iconic blimp. We're flying all over the UK, and we get to take lovely images like this of our capital.
And it's great. This is the hallowed Goodyear brand, isn't it? This
Yes.
airship with
Yes.
Goodyear on the side, which has been around for how long?
Oh, 100 years. Yeah, it's as long as the company's been running, we've had airships. It's our iconic brand. You know, it's part of our brand and our ethos, really.
And it's really important with tyres to buy quality, and we'll tell you about all this a bit later on, but you know, you are playing with your life, the life of your passengers, the life of your children. You cannot cut corners. It's really, really important.
No.
So here we are then, you are in a built-up area. How can you tell me what the speed is? I have got 2 answers here. Bill says it's 30 miles an hour. Kenny says it's 30 miles an hour. Simon says it's 20 miles an hour. And Glenda says it's 10. Okay, right. So there we are, a broad spectrum of responses there. Kate, would you like to tell us what the speed limit on a built-up area is?
It's 30 miles per hour.
Is the correct answer. So now, how can you tell that, I hear you say from the back of the room? Well, it's very simple. There won't always be a sign, but what you will always see in a built-up area will be street lights. So if you see street lights and you're driving through a town, that is 30. You can also use your common sense and see if there are intersections, junctions, houses, schools, hospitals, shops. It's not difficult, this stuff, is it? That means you have to moderate your speed, and you will sometimes see a 20 zone, and that means it's 20 miles an hour. But generally speaking, built up areas, if you can see street lights, it's 30. So there you are. Okay, our final question for these tyres, studiotalk.tv. Email us and we will be giving them away literally as you watch in a minute. You are approaching this traffic light, which is on red. Let's not be in any doubt about that. That means stop, okay? Can't take things for granted today. What distance is it going to take you from 30 miles an hour to stop at the white line? And I want the distance not in metres and feet, but in car lengths. So you're driving along 30 miles an hour, the light goes red, you need to stop. How long is it going to take you in car lengths? Stopping lengths are kind of difficult, aren't they?
They are a difficult thing to try to quantify because a number of different things will affect your stopping distance, such as the weather.
Whether you've got ABS brakes.
Yeah. Your tyres is a big one. So there's a massive difference, particularly in winter weather. So if the temperature is below 7 degrees, if you're fitting winter tyres to your car, you're going to have a better stopping distance than if you've got your summer tyres on. It's all down to the compounds and the makeup of the tyre.
But it's more than that though, isn't it? It's about wear, second-hand tyres, budget tyres. Just quickly kind of talk me through this.
Massive differences between premium and budget tyres. Late last year and again earlier this year, we ran some road safety days at a proving ground called Myra, which you attended.
And this was staggering.
Yeah, we did some tests, premium versus budget, new versus part worn, summer versus winter tyres, and it really does show the stopping distances are astronomical between a premium and a budget tyre.
What they basically did is they put me in this very large luxury car, which I knew quite well and I knew handled brilliantly, and they had it on the normal tyres, so I'm steaming around this circuit. I'll have to say, well, not on public roads obviously, giving it some beans, and it's handling as I predicted. It's really, really good. Then they say hop out and go into this car, which is exactly the same as the one you've just driven, but it's got these budget tyres on it. Cheap ones made from, not the right compounds of rubber in countries we won't mention. And I get into this car and think it's going to respond completely the same. Whoa, it was everything I could do to stop this thing smearing itself all over the crash barrier. I was completely alarmed at how badly this handled. So the difference between, and it was probably only 30, 40 quid difference per tyre, but the car became wild and uncontrollable. Same goes with part worn tyres. You fit part worn tyres that you buy for 20 quid from some shady guy in the back street. Again, I was shown that you can really lose adhesion in the wet with those. And just fitting the wrong tyres to the wrong axle makes the car slide all over the place. And this was something, even as a motoring journalist of 30 years, I'd never been told. And I came away absolutely amazed, didn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of our main objectives as a brand, is to make sure that people understand the differences and understand more about what they're buying when they're buying tyres, because it is a little bit of a taboo. People don't realise what they're purchasing, and they are very much driven by price.
That's the problem, and price is not always the deciding factor when it comes to safety. Just very quickly before, because I've got some answers here, we need to find out this final question and our winner. What should people do if they're confused about tyres?
Well, they can go to our website to find out more information, or they can go into a local tyre dealership such as a High Q, and they'll offer as much advice as you want.
And that's goodyear.co.uk.
It is, yeah.
And the bottom line here is that if you are in any doubt at all, do not take risks.
No.
Don't save 20, 30, 40 pounds.
No, it should be safety first.
Absolutely. Okay, 3 answered. Okay, look, I've got 12 car lengths from Kenny, and from Tim, 6 car lengths. And Joanna has rather unhelpfully just said stop. Joanna, I want to know the distance. We know you've got to stop. We just need the stopping distance. So anyway, Tim and Kenny have conflicting. Anything else? No. Okay, as we speak, we're going to be drawing our winner, somebody will come in and tell us who this is in a second. I've got Chris down here from Southampton. I know that stopping distance is obviously longer in wet conditions, but I can never really remember how much. What is the rough guide and how can I work it out? It's kind of complicated, Chris. The best thing to do is to remember, and I think the government should be clearer on this with all this kind of meters and 30 miles an hour and 40 miles an hour and 60 feet. Just remember the 2-second rule. You're driving along, there's a car in front. You need to make sure that there is 2 seconds of thinking and braking time before you hit that car. And you mark that 2 seconds rule by your car, and it takes 2 seconds to pass an object by the side of the road, so a tree, a post, or whatever. As long as you've got 2 seconds, you are up to 70 miles an hour likely to stop. So it's very simple, doesn't involve any kind of numbers or computations, just the 2-second rule. And remember, when you're driving, the way to survive is to say, how can this person hurt me? Drive along as though you've got a ring of steel and you've got an exit strategy, and say, okay, I've got enough room to stop, but I've also got enough room up on my motorway to dash off to the left there and get to safety on the hard shoulder. But just think, how can this person hurt me? Okay, here's a very good question from Lee. How can we educate teenagers at an earlier age how to drive safely? Well, we are going to do that, aren't we, Kate?
Yeah, I mean, that's our objective. We're going to use our school safety campaign. We're going to use a young driver who are already doing a fantastic job at educating youngsters. We really need to work with them to promote their sessions and get these youngsters online, get them playing our online game, which will launch later this month.
And if any of you out there have got kids, I cannot recommend highly enough, and I've publicised this on the BBC and on Sky and everything. It's a matter of public record. Youngdriver.eu. These are special young driving centres where you could take your kids. They're 11 upwards, and as long as they can reach the pedals, they'll be taken out with an instructor, dual control, and taught the basics of driving on private land. And it really is invaluable. Goodyear are now using Young Driver as well, and you're partnering up with them and just rolling this whole thing forward, and it will save lives. Okay, final question here, and then the winner, Demetria. Do they continually add new road signs, or do I need to brush up on my knowledge as I keep seeing new signs? I'm not sure. Okay, they do keep rolling out the odd one, but basically not thousands and thousands and thousands. You might get a couple of new signs every year. There is no excuse, Demetria, not to know this stuff. And as we've said before, it's all there, it's on the internet, it's on, you're doing an interactive game, it's on YouTube, you can get phone apps. Just brush up on them in an entertaining, fun way, and it'll make a huge, huge difference. Right, Lee from the production team is here with the winner, which Kate is going to read out. Lee?
Thank you.
Okay, now let's build up the suspense here. Let me just clarify, this is for a set of 4 brand new Goodyear tyres for whatever car you have, and you will be giving those away. We'll be in touch with whoever the lucky winner is and make sure you get those tyres, and this is for answering these questions. So
the winner is Joanna Correa.
Joanna Correa. And does it say where she's from?
It doesn't, no, sadly.
Okay, well look, Joanna, if you're watching, well done. You at least got one of these signs right. We will be in touch. Send us just another quick email with what car you've got and where you live. Thank you very much. And I do hope that you've all learnt something, because we were quietly appalled this morning when we got the results of this survey, Kate, weren't we? And we just feel that it is really, really important to get this message across. And perhaps we do have a bigger problem than we thought. Goodyear need to be congratulated to push this stuff, because it's not easy and it's a difficult time at the moment, but you really are keen to help all this road safety stuff happen, particularly the driving at schools.
Absolutely.
And that's great. So look, thank you very much to Goodyear. Thank you to Kate.
Thank you.
And well done for answering all those questions. The information I'm getting through my earpiece is that your answers were not as bad as the survey. So perhaps there is a glimmer, a ray, a sliver of hope that our knowledge of road signs isn't quite as bad as we thought. So look, thank you very much indeed for watching. Until next time, drive carefully.